Hey everybody, morning Dan, morning Al, morning Harry, morning. Well, we got the pullback. I talked about it yesterday. It still looks like it's going lower. We'll talk about where the support is and how low can she go. The truth is, it can go way on down. This could be, S&P came up short of the 4,300 area. I still believe we're probably set up for that, but we could get a significant pullback. So let's talk about it. Debt ceiling deal. Like, remember, Monday is a holiday, Memorial Day, and I mean, where's the motivation for Congress and our president and everybody to actually play Let's Make a Deal before we burn it all down? Yeah, Turo, good morning. I don't know. So, stop a second. If you wanna join the live stream chat while this is live, make sure you're a subscriber. That's the only requirement, and then you can chat. If you're watching this on replay, say maybe it's like after like about 9:30 Eastern time, then you probably just have to leave me a comment down below. And if you want to get notifications next time I go live, hit the alert bell with the little doodads, hit all notifications. YouTube will decide if it should notify you, but you have a better chance of getting notified if you click that button. And then you get notified when I go live every single morning. Although I do have to say, I may not be live tomorrow, Thursday, or Friday this week because I have to go to my father-in-law's funeral out at Fort Bliss in El Paso. I'm in sunny Knoxville, Tennessee, and El Paso is a ways away. So I'll be gone through Saturday, and then off the grid kind of. I'll still be in Discord best I can be. I'll probably be back on Monday, Memorial Day, for a crypto special. Yeah, we'll probably do a special one of these morning monsters for crypto, and then all next week I'll be here again. So just throwing that out there. Public service announcement. So, morning Pat, morning everybody. So if you want to chat, hit the subscribe button while we're live, and you can chat. And there's no permission, there's no nothing. You just have to subscribe, and then you get to chat. So that's how it works. Alrighty, moving on. All trading involves a substantial risk of loss. Anything I talk about may be full of crap. Just remember, I mean, you're here for entertainment, right? I mean, let's be honest. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. This presentation, informational, educational, and fun. I have some information, I have some education, and mostly I'm here to have fun. So join the stream and chat with me. Let me know what you're thinking. We'll dive into some stuff. This is not a recommendation to buy or sell any financial instrument. I'm not recommending you do it, but if you see me make some money doing something, I mean, I sold the SQQQ, by the way. Yesterday, I was up pretty good. So I cleared it out. I had that short SQQ position on. I mean, I guess it was a long SQQ position, short QQQ with SQQQ. Get myself all tongue-tied. I actually had a short SVXY position on too. So that's playing the inverse of the inverse. And since VIX spiked a little yesterday, I went ahead and booked that too. So. And remember, if you desire personal financial advice based on your situation, you need to hire and consult a financial advisor as a fiduciary duty to give you some advice. Hey, Michael, glad to have you. All right. Disclaimer out of the way. Let's check out this calendar of events. We need to refresh it for today. And, well, that was interesting. I don't know what just happened there. What the devil? Come on. Work with me. Okay. Thursday, tomorrow morning, before the open, 8:30. This is a market mover. I'm sorry that I won't be here to talk about it. More than likely, I'm leaving on a jet plane. Hey, Sledge. So, Discord members, work together here. Talk about it. What's going on? Support each other, please. Then we also have pending home sales coming up at 10 o'clock. So we got some lovely end of the week movers for this upcoming holiday weekend. We also have Friday core PCE, the Fed's favorite number. We have durable goods, goods trade balance, personal income, all this coming out before the market. And then 10 a.m. revised consumer sentiment numbers. So lots of numbers coming out right into the holiday weekend. Now, after these numbers hit and we have whatever reaction, we may just kind of sit. All right. So holiday weekends tend to bring the big traders leaving early and things kind of dying out. Now, remember, seasonality-wise, we can expect some chop in June. Looking at the S&P, also chop in June, maybe popping and dropping. Be careful, that could be that spike to 4,300, and then we get a big pullback. All right, we may get a pullback now. This may be running a little early. We could be doing this pullback right here, and then we get the spike up to 4,300, and then we get the bigger pullback, and that all be right in the first part of June, not the last part of June. Just keep it in mind. All right, now VIX, this thing spikes when the market drops, right? VIX, we're kind of at a low point, and we're we're about to run into June here. June typically sees a spike in VIX. That means the market probably going to pull back. Now this is the S&P 500's VIX, and this is these are all 20-year averages, all right? 20-year historical seasonality here. So we could see some volatility in June. I'm beating the drum, all right? Get ready. Get ready. All right. Any questions on that? Hey, Patrick. Hey, Valerie. Morning. So if you're having any kind of problem with anything on YouTube, just reload the page. It's YouTube, man. It's like every other YouTube channel out there. You can click the settings if it's blurry, little gear icon, bump it up. I'm broadcasting it as like 1080p, highest resolution I possibly can. So there we go. I mean, I guess I could do 4K, but I don't have the 4K equipment right now. If anybody wants to, hit the little money icon down there and donate to the cause, I'll certainly try to upgrade some equipment. All right. Here we go. Coming into the morning monster list. Let's reload this. Grab the list. Grab the list. Now, Lulu, look at that. That was setting up divergence, and then yesterday the volume crushed the pattern, breaking a lower low on CVD. So that's cumulative volume delta. If you're interested in that, I got more coming up maybe next month on that. So S&P 500 right back in the box. Let's flip up to the daily chart and get some perspective. Yeah, healthy pullback. That was a fake out, right? I was kind of saying, are we going to fake out or are we going to break out? Everybody, a lot of people, I'm not going to say everybody. A lot of people were convinced this was the breakout that we were looking for. These are not the droids you're looking for. Everybody was convinced this was the breakout. We're blasting off. We're broken out. And guess what? Fake out. Right back down to the top of the consolidation. Classic pattern. Push higher. Retrace to the consolidation. Consolidation has this kind of like little sub box right there. Look at that, right to the top of it yesterday. Now ES right here, actually pushing down into it. I suggested yesterday morning that we may see a return to the bottom of that range, possibly a breakdown back to the roadmap line. Let's move this over. We possibly could see a return to this blue box right down here around the roadmap line. That's returning to the lows here. All right. There is some support right here where support has been for 2 weeks. What is that? All the way out to May 8th. So, good grief. Alerts like crazy. Yeah, so May 8th, that's, roughly almost 3 weeks. So that's where our support is right now. We start breaking below that. Watch out below. That's the next level of support right down there around 40, 50, 40, 60 on ES. Now, you may say, JT, what the heck is ES? Right? That's the S&P 500's futures. I use those because this chart is not gappy. And when we look at the S&P 500 here, look, you see these gaps, these little candles, nothing's connected. we have all this mess here. When I flip over to the futures, everything's connected. I can dive into the smaller time frames and see what the sub moves were. That's why I use the futures. They trade 23 hours a day. They're closed from 5 to 6 p.m. Eastern, and then they trade 5 days a week, from Sunday evening to Friday evening, all the time. Now, coming up on Sunday, a couple days from now, 4 days from now, Sunday, they'll open, and then they'll kind of like close early for Memorial Day, and then they'll reopen at 6 p.m. on Memorial Day on Monday and start trading again. So that's kind of how futures work. I also like to look at the NASDAQ futures. Now, I was warning a lot that we may see a pullback after we hit that high from August. All right, we hit this high area, and that wasn't just the high from August. That was the high from back here in March of 22, March last year. Now, we kind of did this drop and found resistance and then dropped on down. That's where the pink range came from. Right there is that little swing move in there. And also, look at that spike down. Test the top, test the top, test the top, bust in. Try to break out one more time, bounce off the top, and crush down. Couldn't hold it. Retest in out to the lowest low there in October. All right, so this was a significant range. Took us a little time to get up to the top of it. Now we're probably going to come back and potentially retest the point from where we broke out right here, where we were topping, we're topping, and then we broke out and went exponential. You know what happens when we go exponential? We tend to come right back down. This happens over and over and over in the market. Things just can't move exponentially. There's not exponential money. There's dozens, hundreds, thousands of examples of this over the years. Just pull up a chart of Tilray, TLRY, and zoom it out, or zoom it way out, and look at the pop and the drop. Look at GME, the pop and the drop. There's tons of examples of this. Even like AI, look at that pop, went exponential, right back down where it came from. Now we're working on something else here. After you retrace, you can do something else. But on that initial exponential move, we tend to go right back down. All right. That's why the NVIDIA chart makes me nervous. All right. It's coming up on the list today. Just keep it in mind. How far can we go? This is the support for NQ right down here around 13,350. We already hit my level, the level I was talking about yesterday, that 13,700 level. We already came back. We're now about 60 points below that. We came back and hit that yesterday, right in the 13. Right down in there yesterday. Kind of started bouncing a little bit. I went ahead and liquidated my position because we did the thing that I was expecting. We went to the level. We did a 382 retrace off of the highs. All right. I'm going to sit here and wait for the next high probability setup. I booked my gains on that position. Now I'm just going to wait. There's nothing to chase. If you chase this lower, you might get jammed up in a reversal. This thing can rip. Obviously it can rip. Look right back over here. We were ripping, all right? It can do this again. It can do these crazy rips once it finds the bottom. How far is the bottom? Well, it could be right here. Come on. Right in here, we can find support. That's where it consolidated. We just crushed right through that one. Right there where it consolidated right before it broke out. We very, very briefly bounced and then crushed right through it. Moving on down. Now we're testing this. If we crushed below that, we'll probably come back and test this zone from where it flipped here. We found resistance, we broke out, found support, and then launched off. It may come all the way back down there around 13,300 or so. All right. You're like, JT, how do I trade NQ though? That's NASDAQ, NDX. That's like QQQ, TQQQ, SQQQ. All those QQQ things. Take these numbers right here, divide by 41 roughly, you get the QQQ price. All right. That's how you trade it. Now, Russell, right here, we tried our darndest. Tried our darndest to go break out of the roadmap line yesterday. Rejected. Probably going right back to the bottom of the blue box. Back to the lows. This is actually a very bearish pattern. We could easily extend lower down to lower targets. Please be careful. This is IWM would be the ETF for this one. So CL showing a little signs of a potential breakout here, but this is not a very bullish pattern. This is not the kind of pattern I usually look for on a bullish pattern. But looking at this right here, we may pop up and retest the roadmap line one more time here before we roll over and go lower again. That'll be the test right there. I'm not convinced this is going higher. A lot of the oil producer, a lot of the oil refiner, a lot of the oil exploration charts all look very bearish, and they don't look like they bottomed. All right, this spike could have been bottoming, but this price action after that initial pop, not very bullish. All right. Do kind of expect, and this goes, counter narrative a little bit, do kind of expect weakness in oil to continue. I don't think we've bottomed out yet. We may see some more sideways churn. This thing's kind of been in a sideways churning correction, drifting lower for a while. I mean, we kind of popped back there in March of 22 and had a little bit of volatility, and then just been drifting off lower. Don't pick bottoms. Wait until this proves it, all right? We're not in a series of higher highs yet. This is continuing to make lower lows and lower highs. That's a downtrend. We see that on a lot of oil charts, a lot of oil companies, all right? Be careful. Gold also looks like it wants to reach down and get that roadmap line. We may have a little bit of retrace and then another push down. Bitcoin also consolidating right at the lows here. Just needs one quick spike down. Now, an interesting thing from Bitcoin, 3-day weekends tend to be somewhat bullish in Bitcoin's past. Is that going to be true this weekend? I don't know. We'll talk about it on Monday or Tuesday after the 3-day weekend's done. Like I said, I may do a morning monster on crypto. I'm kind of planning on it right now on Monday. So we can talk about it on Monday and see where we're at. We may have, by then, we may have spiked down, hit the roadmap line, and be on our way back up. That may be what happens. I don't know. We'll see what happens, all right? Time will tell. Right now, we're just consolidating at the bottom of this range. Right here. I need to pull it down just a hair to match these lows over here. Just keep consolidating right there. A quick spike down can resolve this whole pattern here. DXY, parked right at the roadmap line. Does it roll off? Does it pop higher? We'll have to see. Time's going to tell here. This is a point where we can reverse down, just like we saw on oil here. Oil did this right up to the roadmap line, popped up, fake out, and crush. That's what NQ can do too. Bitcoin could be leading the NQ and S&P. See, we did this consolidation. We did this like exponential, almost little pop in a couple days, and then we dropped. And we came back up again and dropped more. So that can happen on the market. Like Bitcoin could be ahead of the market by about a month. GTC, look at FCX. Let's pop this one up. Oh, in the target zone. Goose, I told you. If that one can bounce off of 33, that's bullish, but it can go on down to 29 or lower. Be careful. All right, I'm going to set some more alerts here. May go off quickly. And then on the bullish side, we're going to have to break above resistance above us. All right. Back to the list of what's popping today. GCT, Giga Cloud, looks like a nice pop. Probably on earnings. Don't have them on here yet. Bud, Whew, man. Ouch. That one's going in the toilet. How low can she go? You know what's funny? The chart didn't predict. I mean, the chart doesn't know anything about news. Didn't predict their flawed marketing campaign. But if I had to venture a guess, I would guess we're going right down in here, around 52 to 55. If it can find support there, we could go higher. If it starts crushing down below this 52 to 50 area, probably going lower low down to around 38. So that would be probably going down into this zone right in here. And if we can find support and break back above the roadmap line, that would be bullish on Bud for at least a retest of those highs. High, high, turn down to the high. Imagine that. Right down in here. That's where I expect it to go. ZURA. That's crazy. I don't know. That's one of those exponential pops and right back down, lower low. I don't know. Biotech, dangerous stuff. NIO, I still expect that one to go visit 4. Target. Well, that's not bullish. Yeah, that was probably going to make a lower low. See what I talk about? Like, can't get up, can't stay above the roadmap line, and then make a lower high. Bounce, can't even get above it. That's weakness. That's going lower, more than likely. KSS, getting a nice pop, but that's still a downtrend. Bounced off the 1272, come back, retest the 100, and then make an extension down to 16 would be my expectation. NVIDIA, like I said, it's on the list, getting a drop. I do expect this thing to drop back to the roadmap line at some point. Be careful. The move is pretty much done here. Wednesday tonight, today, earnings after the close. If you want to gamble on earnings, keep your position. If you don't want to gamble earnings, consider closing it out today sometime. Before the close, XPEV, that just looks like weakness. And Doge getting talked about, but also just looks like sideways nothing. I pulled all those off of StockTwits. So ANF getting a nice pop right there. We do have resistance at that prior high right here. And it looks a little bit like a head and shoulders type thing. If it can break out, that can go quite a bit higher. You're like, JT, I don't see the head and shoulders. Look right here. When I draw it, it suddenly becomes magical. We kind of broke down below the neckline. Fake outs, failed patterns tend to go up by the amount of the head to the neck, from where it broke. That thing breaking above there is the indication that we'll probably see a move right up in here, around 34. So that one breaking above that prior high. It has to break above the high. Above that high, probably a move to 34. It could be a nice little gain too. I mean, that's 28 to 34, $6, or maybe 29 to 34, $5 on a $25 stock, 20%. Not too shabby. Not too bad. Retail is a story of haves and have-nots. All right, not all retail is doing the same thing. Don't play it that way. Rita Pharmaceutical looks like a little pop, but probably going back to the roadmap line. PANW, nice potential breakout. Would set it up to go to 210. That prior high right up here around 214. And then the extension up here near 220, 219. So watch for that breakout. Looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. That is just a 3-wave move, though. Be careful. Be careful. We could stop at that. If we stop at that 212, it's probably going down. If we get to 219, that'll probably retrace back to the point from where it broke out. So here's the story. We turn down here, probably going lower. If we turn down from here, we'll probably come back to here and go on out. Urban Outfitters, nice pop right to the resistance. It may retrace right back down like this before it can find support and do that. Of course, it can always crush down and come back to the roadmap line one more time. mRNA, well, that head and shoulders played out and looking for a bottom and a reversal, and so far nothing spicy setting up on that one. INTU, let me tell you about this. They're discontinuing QuickBooks Desktop, and they want to push everybody to online. That's like the stupidest idea for a company that has historically, I mean, why push all your customers to online if they don't want to be? I mean, it just seems really like a poor business decision. All the desktop versions, essentially, unless you buy the fancy enterprise, whatever, expire at the end of the month. That's like 7 days, and then all of a sudden you have no payroll, no nothing. Poor decision. Now, why would you not want to be on the cloud? I don't know about you, but I've not always had the best luck with my data staying safe in the cloud. Now, companies like Google do a pretty good job, but some of the other companies out there, I've lost data. I've lost projects. I've had crashes and lost a day's worth of work. Do you want to lose a day's worth of accounting? It's not. I don't know. Yeah. And the online looks different, and you have to relearn it. And I mean, it's a lot. I mean, I don't know. I don't think it's a smart decision for Intuit to be going down that path. So, yeah, send your data to India. I mean, like, I run a small business. We use QuickBooks, and we haven't even made a decision. We're down to like 6 days left to do it, and there's not great options. I don't want to put our company data in the cloud. I mean, that's all of our data. Oh, it's completely safe. We encrypt it and blah, 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 blah. How many times have you been hacked online? I mean, I don't trust it. I don't know. I'd rather run my own, QuickBooks file on my own computer, my own server, my own backup, not trust online crap. So, yeah, I mean, the internet goes down. Exactly right, Valerie. The internet goes out. Guess what? The internet is not 100% reliable. It's not even as reliable as the power. Internet goes out more than power does. Seems like. So, anyway, SRPT, just churning, and it's kind of in an uptrend, but it just churning, choppy in this area. Nothing super great. CRMT, ouch. That's probably going to push lower now. PTCT, ouch. That one right down at support, but that looks like it's probably going to push down and retest the lows. ADI, another one dropping down. This one can find support here and go up for the target. Came up a little shy on my target. Right back to the roadmap line. If this breaks back up through, of course, it's got large resistance now with this gap down on earnings. Looks like beat on the top, beat on the bottom. Must have said something that people didn't like. ADI, of course. ADI, that's a semiconductor, and yeah, retrace on semiconductors. So, and SOXL still cannot break out. Back to the roadmap line. Classic 1, 2, 3, 4. That could be the next one. Break out, and then we retrace, and then we actually go on that one. So, A, also getting a large drop on earnings. Legion Technologies. Back to the lows. ASML couldn't break out. Probably going to retrace the roadmap line one more time. TMO, another drop. Probably going back to the lows. So, all right. See a couple requests there. So CBWR. I don't know what that was, but didn't pull up anything. So AM, that's not moving, so nothing to talk about. I'm looking for stuff moving today, not stuff sitting at the highs. And then SDGR, also not really moving today, down 3%. That was an exponential move. What do we expect? Right there. Now, if you never pull up the chart of Schrodinger, does it still exist? I don't know. If you don't get that, Google Schrodinger's cat. Anyway. Bias for the day. Probably continuing to retrace, retest this. We may turn up at support if we get below support being where we formed lows for the last 3 weeks. If we start pushing down below this orange box right here, defined by 4122 on ES, that's somewhat different on S&P 500. As we can see, that comes in probably around 4100 even. We start pushing below that on the S&P 500, probably going down here to 4040 or so on the S&P 500. ES, that looks something like 4060. In Q, probably coming back. If we can't hold on right here, right where we are, probably coming back to retest this 13300 area where we were forming tops for, gosh, what is it, a month and a half? So there you go. That's what we got. All right. If you want to continue the conversation all day, I'll be in Discord. And I got a guest spot on Roundtable. So if you don't know what Roundtable is, I'll throw the link in Discord. And it's on my email list. If you want to be on the email list, just click the link in the description, buy the $5 thing, and you get on the email list, you get in Discord, you get all the information. I mean, come on. While you're at it, might as well make sure you're a subscriber to the channel so you get notified when I go live. But like I said, that may not be again till Monday due to travel plans. So see everybody later. Have a safe day. Have a safe Memorial Day. Be safe out there. I'll try to post some pictures of flags on the graves